Hi, first grade. Today for math, we are going to continue our review of place value and two-digit numbers. And on the screen, you see a 100 chart, which you probably remember from class because we used it quite a bit to help us solve a variety of different problems. But just a quick refresher on the 100 chart. It's a great tool that we can use. And a 100 chart, if you remember, we read it from left to right, just like we do with a book. And we start at 1 up here, and then as you move down the 100 chart, the numbers get greater, so that 100 is at the bottom here. And a 100 chart can be used to help with skip counting. If you look at every other number, that can help you skip count by twos. If you want to help skip count by fives, you can look at 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on, and that will help you skip count by fives. And then the 100 chart also, if you look at the far end here, all of the numbers going down this column are counting by tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. So if when you're moving on a 100 chart and looking at a 100 chart, when you are moving left to right, you'll notice that the numbers change by 1. So we go 4 to 5 to 6, or 4 to 3 to 2, 34 to 35, 36. It's all changing by ones. When we move up and down on a 100 chart, each row that we move up and down, that the numbers change by 10. So 5, 15, 25, 35, and so on. And we're going to use that to help us with today's activity, our review activity. So on your seesaw activity, you're going to see some problems that look like this. There'll be a picture of a 100 chart for you to use. And then if you remember in class, we worked on how to use a 100 chart to find numbers that are 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, and 10 less. So you'll be given a number. In this example, it's the number 32. Yours will be different numbers. And a quick review from yesterday, the number 32, the way it's written right here is in standard form. And if I look to the digit in the ones place, I see a 2. And if I look to the digit in the tens place, I see a 3. And that tells me that there are 2 ones and 3 tens, 3 tens, 2 ones, and that is the number 32. So my first step is going to be finding 32 on the 100 chart to help me solve this problem. And whenever I'm looking for a number, I try to think, is it going to be closer to the top, closer to the bottom, or closer to the middle of the 100 chart? And 32 is getting closer to the middle. So I'm going to kind of look in this middle area. I find the row of 30s, and then, oh, there I see 32. Now, to find the number that is 1 more than 32, I'm going to go to the number that is right after it, and I find what is 1 more. Then to find 1 less, I'm going to look to the number that comes right before it, and there's 31. If I want to find the number that is 10 more, remember, to find numbers that are changing by 10, we have to go up and down. So to find 10 more, I'm going to look to the number right below my original number. And then to find the number that is 1 less, I'm going to look to the number that is right above my original number of 32. And if you remember when we did this in class, it creates a plus sign almost when you find those numbers. So when you do this, you can use your 100 chart to find the numbers, and then you will fill in the blank spaces on your seesaw activity. You can use the pen or the typing tool and fill in. So 1 more than 32 is 33, 1 less than 32 is 31, 10 more than 32 is 42, and 10 less than 32 would be 22. And I found all of those numbers by looking on my 100 chart here, and you can do the same. Then on the last page of your student activity pages will be what looks like this, and there'll be a 100 chart, and then there are just 300 chart puzzles. So imagine someone went in and just took out a section of the 100 chart, and they're asking us to fill in the blank spaces. So just be careful that if it's if it's a number that is above or below, it's going to change by 10. And if it's a number that's to the left or the right, it will change by 1. Okay, so when you're finished with those pages and you finish the 100 chart puzzles on the last page, click the check twice to submit, and that will do it for your math for today. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, first grade.